is K03, and I did my project on designing this robot. This robot is able to start in the process of sorting plastics, because plastics is such a big impact to our society. Anyways, I called my project R² in brackets 2L or not 2L. It looks kind of mathy, and I chose to do that because computer science is mostly math. And that's what it takes to code a robot. So to start, what I did is I researched a bunch of things that you could use a robot to help solve, because I knew I wanted to design a robot, because I really got into computer science this past year. So I realized that plastics aren't always sorted properly, which is why even if you put them in the recycling bin at your house or at work, at school, they just end up in the landfill because it's such a lengthy process. Everyone knows that plastics have a little triangle on them, and it all stands for something different, as plastic must be sorted, as each of them have their own chemical properties. And since right now the only way to sort them is by looking at every single piece of plastic for that little triangle with a number in it, it's very time consuming. Like I said, each one has its own chemical properties, which means each one can be used sensors to sort out which one is which. So that's what I decided to do for my project. So I got this idea after researching, like I said, a bunch of ways I could use my robot, well, our robot, because I hadn't designed it yet, to make this, to overcome some challenges. And then I chose recycling with plastics, mostly because it has to do with climate change, which is such a big issue in our world today, and something that I'm very passionate about. Difficulties that I encountered would be technical issues. One of the pieces I needed doesn't actually fit in the breadboard nicely. So that was to control the wheels. So now the wheels don't work, and it takes way too long to order another part because it's COVID and everything takes forever to show up. So what I did was I decided that my robot didn't actually need the wheels. It would have been nice to make it move and to go to the plastic itself. But for now, you just have to hold the plastic up to the sensors, which it's a little less efficient, but it's still more efficient than what we have going. And in the future, I think I would, once I get the part in and I build it all up, I would like to make it move along. Something I enjoyed doing about this project was probably all the hands-on stuff that I did alongside it. I like designing things. I want to become an engineer, and that's another reason why I went the robotics route. The other part I liked was probably the actual testing and making sure it all works. My family helped me collect plastics for like 3 months here, because you needed different plastics and different things, and we had to go out and do groceries based off of what the plastics were made of. So we would purposely go out and buy something that came in styrofoam packaging, because styrofoam packaging is polystyrene, which is plastic number 6. And one time my family was tired of going specifically shopping for certain plastics, I ended up with this huge bag full of plastics, which you can see. Yeah. And then I got to test them all and sort them and to figure out the properties, but actually making the robot do its thing after all this work was really cool to watch. So this project, I bought the robot kit from Science Buddies. It comes in a box, and you can use it to make lots of things, mostly because I didn't have all the materials I needed myself and my house. And then I also got some support from a teacher at school who is part of the robotics club, which I am now getting into now that it's starting up. And then my chemistry teacher at school, who helped me with the whole process of actually designing the project itself and going through all the questions like what type of project you could use, what type of problem you need to solve, and what makes a good grade 12 project. Like I said, my family for helping me deal with all this stuff. And then next steps for this project. Like I said, I do want to wait for the part to come in. I've ordered it for the wheels, just not here in time for me to actually do it for this science fair. And I am in grade 12, so this will be my last basic science fair project. But you never know. One of the results I got is I was able to sort out all number ones and number fours because they had completely different properties, and what other ones are somewhat similar, and I ended up getting like it could be one or the other. And I think what I want to do in the future is continue designing this and working towards it to make sure I can sort all types of plastics, which would be really cool because, like I said, sorting plastics is a big issue in our society right now. So I feel like continuing this to use the other plastics would be great. Plastic number 1 and plastic number 4 are the most common used in our society because number 1 is PET plastics, or polyethylene terephthalate, assuming I pronounced that right. I practiced, but it's a little hard. And it makes up your plastic water bottles, your plastic jars, your plastic containers your food come in, your takeout containers that are plastic, and all of that. And then plastic number 4 is low density polyethylene, or LDPE, and it's what makes up your single-use plastics. So your plastic bags, your plastic straws, your saran wrap, your plastic wrap, the coating on the outside of cups and cartons and things. All of that, and those I've seen in society a whole bunch. Those plastics were easy to collect. But continuing the process to have the other ones which are used in cleaning products or yogurt cups or like chemical packaging and all of that I don't really have access to myself to test and go through other steps. I would like to collect some maybe over the year and find some people who could help me improve this project in the future. I also want to continue learning on my coding language. I got some help from my computer science teacher when writing the code, and yeah, I think that's it. So that's my project. And R squared. 2R and R2R, or robot recycle. To recycle or not to recycle. But hopefully to recycle.